Hey guys, and welcome back to my channel. My name is Shroomy and I'm back again with another video. So today I am going to be doing some animal drawings. I started off by sketching them with just a regular pencil with a little mechanical pencil and yeah, just trying to I'm not sure, kind of reimagine these little animals, try and make them really cute. And yeah, I'm gonna be using the Artix acrylic markers just because I've at this stage, this video was actually filmed in November of last year, where I did these sketches, and I did quite a few. I actually did just like pencil sketching one day. There's another page, I think 3 pages are filled with just sketches, but I didn't come to coloring them in until like a couple of days after. But anyway, I don't know, I was just in the mood of drawing cute little things, and then I got the markers. I got 2 sets, I think I mentioned in my last video. I have 2 sets of these markers, so I bought the 30 colors in each set, and yeah, altogether I've got 60 now, and they're really nice. I love the acrylic markers. They're so easy to use and they're just so much fun. Again, I'll mention this, if you've got the markers, make sure you hold them downwards, so where the cap is, hold it on the bottom, because that will make so much difference, because they won't dry. The nib becomes really dry if you hold it upwards, and yeah, that's just a little tip in case you are having struggles with these. But my method of coloring is, I'm not really sure if it's any method. I just keep going in with the colors and keep, messing around until it looks okay, I guess. But I do like to go in with like the color that I want to use, and then fill everything in, kind of, and then kind of build off of that, because I think it just makes sense. Also, I sometimes do this, but sometimes I don't. I didn't do it for these pieces, where I erase the top layer of the graphite so it doesn't show up as much. I think at this stage I wasn't really using these markers a lot, so I didn't really know how to use them properly yet. And I've been enjoying watching a lot of anime drawing videos, and the way that, especially digitally, where you just layer up these dreamy colors and these splashes of color and just making it stand out so much. You can see that in the cherries, especially, that blue just makes it stand out so much, and it's so dreamy. And that's kind of what the tone for all of these are, is that's kind of my way of working with these. I don't know, it's just really interesting. I love these. I love the way that these little drawings turned out in the end, and I've been using the Artix markers a lot lately, and you know what, it's really making me get used to them more. I love to use them in my sketchbook, that's for sure. They are brilliant. So this little lamb, I wanted it to be like a lime pie. I love that green. I think this is where I got the second set, because that second set of colors that I got has this really nice leafy green. It is a number 55, and yeah, it's just so nice. I love that green, because in the set before I was quite limited on the greens, and yeah, as soon as I got that color, I needed to make something with limes. So the vision for this little raccoon boy was that I wanted him to be a little chef. I think because it's November, we've passed Halloween at this point, but I love pumpkins and I love drawing all the little pumpkins in my sketchbook, and I don't know, just Halloween vibes, like they're so much fun, right? So I wanted to draw this little raccoon boy kind of like picking out like guts from the squash. Is it squash? I don't know, like the pumpkin relative. And yeah, I just wanted him to like be cooking something up, I don't know. And then I started sketching, and then it kind of all came together. I wasn't really sure, I was just going with it to see what happens, and I actually really enjoyed the way that it came out. However, I did struggle a lot. As you can see, I've cut around a lot, so you won't see all of the struggles and everything, because there's a lot of layers for this one. But you can see the pens are so juicy. I love how juicy these pens are. So they really are something so intriguing, because when I was younger, we didn't have, obviously the acrylic markers like this with the brush tips are so new. I feel like obviously the ones that we used to use were the Poscas with the bullet nibs, and that's the ones that I used at uni, and I never got used to them, never really used them much. I only wanted them because everybody would use them and they looked so fun, and people would make these like jewel colored, you know, drawings, and just making them look so nice and like well put together, and they just seemed like so much fun. So I actually got like a handful of the Posca markers, but I never got any use out of them really, and now they're just sitting there drying up, which is actually really sad. But these brush nib like markers are an absolute game changer. They are so much fun, and they're so easy because you don't have to like get your paint out, you don't have to worry about having enough paint and tubes and anything, and you've got all these colors. You don't have to mix them, you don't have to do anything. They're just so much fun. However, I do use some of the Posca markers still, like this white, and I use a black one. I use gold and silver as well sometimes. That's ironic because right now I am going to be using the jelly gouache, but that's because I wanted to see how well the markers layer on top of the gouache. And you know what? Didn't have any problems. There was a tiny bit of smudging when I was laying on the markers, but that was expected because the jelly gouache is so like, what's the word, like fugitive, where you can just keep putting the water on top and then it'll smudge really quickly, which is not an issue at all. But I will say I probably won't use the acrylic markers on top of the gouache in the future, just because they're two completely different materials. Even though the acrylic markers are water-based, I feel like they obviously dry and you can't move them anymore, so that's the complete opposite with the Himi gouache, and I feel like those two just don't mix very well. But I'm applying the same exact technique that I do with the markers. I am going in with the most random colors and try and like build up the layers, and bringing in these highlights of like the opposite colors just makes it so much fun. I love the little blue chicken. The little blue chicken is my absolute favorite, and I made stickers of her and they are so dreamy. So for this page, you can see that I erased the top layer of the graphite just so that the lines just don't come through as much. I feel like that's the biggest advice that I'd say for the markers, because even though the markers are like very opaque, and the gouache as well, like they're quite opaque, but the pencil just does love to show through, and because it's shiny as well, the pencil, the graphite is a little bit shiny. It's just nice to remove that top shine. I did struggle with the cat a little bit. I had to do a lot of layers for it, and I do love the way that the strawberry cat turned out. I don't know, he's just so cute. I love bringing in these random colors on the sides and the highlights and like these shadowy areas. They're just so fun. They just make it stand out so much, and that's kind of like what I've been doing with these little sketchbook like drawings. I do love bringing in these random colors to just make it pop, and just, I don't know, it's just so juicy. I don't know what other word to describe. They're just so like fruity and juicy. You just want to like eat them. I also love using the squared brush, because you can just make these really nice shapes, and I don't know, the way that it layers the colors is just really nice and very satisfying. I'm going back in with the markers just to like top up these shapes and try and like make some of the, when I'm using the Himi gouache, it's quite scraggly. I don't know how well it portrays on the camera. Probably not as much as it does in real life. The Himi gouache is very streaky, and I do think it might be because of the paper. The paper is very the sketchbook I'm actually using, I never mentioned this, but alcohol marker sketchbook, and the pages are very smooth, so everything that you put on top of there is just like very slip and slidey kind of, I feel like, which is why the Himi gouache just doesn't really love to stick to this page, so it just becomes really like streaky. And I do feel that way with the markers as well. The first layer or first two layers is very, I don't know how to explain it. Literally like a little slip and slide, like it's just like moving across and not really laying down very solidly, which is not a problem for me because I do love this sketchbook, but I do think I'm gonna venture out and try a different sketchbook for my next. However, I do love the alcohol marker sketchbooks because they are very dear to my heart. I love how thick they are. They are super heavy though. I believe one A4 sketchbook weighs around 1.3 kilograms, and it's just way too heavy to lug around with you in a backpack or whatever. But yeah, I do love these sketchbooks, but I do want to try a different one, maybe like a mixed media with a softer page. I do realize that alcohol markers might not be as good in those type of sketchbooks, but even in this sketchbook you'd think that it wouldn't bleed through, but unfortunately it still does, and you are still, you know, wasting pages, so it doesn't really matter. The bleed through isn't severe, like it's not one-to-one like bled through on the other side, but it does still bleed through, and it's very hard to see if you make a piece on top of it. I also got some microns, and I do love adding these outlines on them because it's just, I don't know, it just makes it pop more, but I do think I didn't really need it in a lot of the places, but I don't know, I just felt like it needed a little something. And the colors, even though I have 60 colors, 4 of those is two black colors and 2 white, so you know the rest of the colors are a little bit more limiting. But I don't know, I feel like there isn't that many like really dark colors. I don't want to use a thick black outline, but this little black outline kind of works. But at the same time, I do wish there was more deeper, darker colors. But other than that, they're perfect. I am a big fan, and I'm not sponsored in any way, but I do love the acrylic markers. They just make it so much fun to work with. And with that, I'm gonna end it here, you guys. I hope you enjoyed this video. So sorry for the rambling. I don't know, I just love to yap, but other than that, I hope you enjoyed the video, and I hope to see you again. Thank you so much for being here, and have an awesome day. Bye, guys.